So, welcome to Givens Estates. Discover Givens Estates. There is so much to tell you, so much to share with you. So, this is a high level introduction of our community, what we are, what we provide, and there's no way that we'll be able to cover everything. So, think of this as the high level, and then certainly feel free to schedule a phone, Zoom, or in-person appointment with me, schedule a tour to see the community in person. But you might not live here locally. It might be harder for you to travel here to Asheville. So this is an attempt to put all those tools right at your fingertips and give you an introduction of our community conveniently in the comforts of your home. You will receive a recording of this as well. And please put in your questions, any comments or anything that's important to you so we can make sure that we cover those for you. All right, so first, let's start off with Abby. You've been hearing us talk, but let her introduce herself to you and tell you all about her and what she does here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Abby Telich, the Sales and Marketing Assistant and Digital Media Coordinator here at Givens Estates. I highly encourage you to follow us on social media because that's a great way to follow what residents are doing on campus. Once you join the waitlist, you do get the Gazette every 2 weeks, which lists out all the events, but seeing it real live in pictures and video, I think hits differently. So definitely give us a follow and a like. But I also do all the paper transactions in the background. I'm support for the marketing team, jack of all trades over here. But I really love my job. I love the people I work with, and the residents are wonderful.
They are, and you are too, Abby.
Thanks.
And I am Leslie Lang. I am the sales and marketing representative for independent living. So I get the opportunity of meeting with all of you that are interested in our community. And I like to be an educator. That's my approach, as I really want to make sure that I give you information that will help you make a decision as to whether or not Givens is the right community for you or maybe another one. So I want to educate you on some of the information that is coming. So I do presentations, I do tours, I do webinars, I do initial, discussions with you about medical needs, financials, help you discover your budget and help navigate all the different options that are out here on our campus as well as others. I do work the wait list and the ready list, so I present offerings to people and help them move into our campus. I've been here about 14 years. It's an amazing community, and my mom is also a Givens resident. So it's been a wonderful time of my life that I have no intention of ending anytime soon. So we're going to have 3 poll questions throughout this webinar. So Abby, if you could pop that first one up. It's questioning as to whether or not you have ever been on our campus here to Givens Estates. Yes, no, or yes, you've been here, but it's been a while. And the reason why I ask, has it been a while, is we have done a lot of updates. We have added new residences. We have added more amenities. We have updated everything. Even every hallway has been painted, resurfaced, everything. So we are a very well-established community, but we're also a very fresh community. So even though we've been around over 40-something years, we don't look like it. We look like it's a brand new community. So if it's been a while, I highly encourage you to come on campus and schedule another one of our tours. So we're still getting some of the answers on that. All righty, couple more, like 3 more seconds and we'll move on. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. All right, so, it's about 30, 30, 30. That's a very well balanced thing there. Cool. Welcome. All right, share results. Sure. All right, why not? Can you see that? And we're going to move on. I do think that's kind of fun to share the results. Okay, stop sharing. Close out. Here we go. All right, so what is Givens Estates? Well, have you heard of the term CCRC? CCRC stands for Continuing Care Retirement Community, meaning that there are all levels of care on one campus. There's independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, short-term rehab, and we even have home care in our independent living residences here on our campus. We have found that once people have already moved once, they really don't want to move again. They like the comforts of their home. They want to stay together with their spouses. We started introducing that option in 2008, and we've seen nothing but a straight incline of interest and demand for that. So now we find that less than 10% of our residents are moving to these higher levels of care. However, it's very important to know that those levels of care are here on the campus. So you can have all of that right there. You don't have to move again. Most of the people that move into our campus are independent living. We've got about 800 people total living on our campus, but about 600 of them are living independently. So we'll talk more about all of that. But continuing care retirement community, continuum of all of it at one time. The term CCRC has been around for many, many years. And, you got to keep fresh and new, and you got to, rename things sometimes. And they did rename our industry to Life Plan Community. So I bring that to your attention that you might run into both terms, and I want you to be familiar with both of them and know that it's the same thing. Okay, so where are we located? We are in South Asheville. And honestly, we are right in the midst of everything. Everything is so close. You've got two interstates, 40 and 26 here in Asheville, and we sit right next to both of them. We're 15 minutes away from downtown. You're close to the Biltmore Estate. You're close to the mall. You're close to the airport. About 15 minutes to downtown. No, I say 20. Very close to everything. So we have found to be right in the middle of everything. Every doctors, post offices, banks. We are on Sweeten Creek Road, and the next road up parallel to us is Hendersonville Road, and everything you need is on Hendersonville Road. So turn right to go downtown, turn left to go to the airport. We're good to go. All right, so CCRC and Life Plan Communities are the same thing, as we had mentioned. Now, there are a lot of communities out there, and you might be looking in North Carolina, you might be looking in Florida, Texas, this, that, or whatever. So this is where I want to kind of get you started on the ground. If this is new to you, you're just starting to look, this is a really good place for you to start your knowledge and knowing and familiarizing yourself with the 3 different contract types that are in the Life Plan Community CCRC industry. Okay. The 3 contracts are A, life care, a B contract, modified fee for service, or a C contract, also known as fee for service. So we're going to quickly walk through all 3 of those. But before we do that, know that all A, B, and C contracts, all of those, you will pay an entry fee and a monthly fee when you are moving into that community. The entry fee, in a sense, pays for your residence, but you don't own it. So you don't have to pay taxes on it. You don't have to maintain it. You have the rights to live in that residence, whether it's an apartment, duplex, cottage home, whatever. You have the rights to live in that residence as long as you want it or need it. Okay. Now, there's a monthly fee as well, and we'll talk about monthly fees because inclusions will be different in every community. But in a type A, life care community, not only will you pay for the residence, you will also prepay upfront for all of the higher levels of care. So I think type A, all in, all inclusive. Now there's pros and cons to the A, the B, the C. It's good for you to be familiar with them so you know what works best for you. Now, some people that can get on a type A life care wait list, it might be years before they move into the community. And what that means is if something happens and you had a change in your health status or a major diagnosis, you may no longer qualify to move into that community. Or in order to move into that community, you might need to pay a higher premium to bring your risk factor down. So if one of you doesn't qualify and the other one does, it can become quite a stressful time come the time that you need a community. So it's very important that you understand all three contract types. So type A, you prepay for all levels of care, whether or not you live there. Your monthly fee would stay the same regardless of the level of care you're in. There is a cost of living increase annually within whatever that community is. Okay, type B, I'm going to skip it, but I am going to come back. Type C is also known as fee for service. Again, entry fee, monthly fee. But in the C, you do not prepay for everything. You will simply pay a fee for the service that you are at that time receiving. So if you never live in a higher level of care, you would never pay for it. Or if it's years before you ever live there, you don't pay it until then. Or if you're only in assisted living or skilled nursing for 6 months, you only pay for it at that time. So the benefit of that means you can be on a wait list for many years. One of you could have a diagnosis, you could, or it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't qualify for that community. You would simply enter that community for what level of care is needed, and you would pay a fee for that service. So I think type C gives you more choices, it gives you more control, and it can be more customized to you. Okay. So going back to the B, it's basically the C. Entry fee, monthly fee, pay for the fee that you are receiving, but there is some modification written in that contract. So although you're paying a fee for that service, the contract might say that you'll pay that fee, but it's at a 10 or a 15% discount. Or there could be other modifications saying that in this contract, you automatically qualify for 60 free days in a higher level of care. It really just depends on how that community modified their contract. So A, B, and C are the contract options that are out there. It does not mean that every single community that you're looking at will offer A, B, and C. Most of the time, a community will focus on one contract type or the other. Okay, so you want to ask, what contract type do you offer? And now you know what the A, B, and the C is, and you'll know how to ask questions accordingly. There are few communities that do offer more than one contract type. And if that's the case, this would be your pricing for the A or the B or the C. So that's a very good, important place for you to start your knowledge. But not all communities are the A, B, and C. There are also rental communities and equity communities. Those don't really fall under life plan communities, CCRCs. Rentals are just basically, it's a rental. You move into the community, you pay a monthly fee. Pros and cons is it's usually not as expensive. Some of the cons are that people are moving in and out a lot, whereas in CCRC communities, people tend to be proactive, they invest and they stay for a longer period of time. It builds community, whereas rentals, somebody may live there for 6 months and whatever. Before my mom moved to become a Givens resident, she lived in a rental community, and about every 6 months she had a new neighbor. And it was great to meet new people, but it was harder to build community. Also, rental communities won't have as many amenities usually that you'll see in a lot of CCRC life plan communities, because you don't have the investment coming in. These amenities cost a lot of money, the buildings, the maintenance, the staff, the land, all of that. So again, you have to decide what's important to you. So we're just kind of talking about what's out there. And then there's equity. So whereas in a life plan or a CCRC community, I say that you don't own it, whereas in an equity community, you will own it. Most people find that as they get to this stage in their life, they really don't want to own a home anymore. They don't want to have that responsibility, but there are communities out there that is the case, and that's important to them. So ask, what are you offering there? And then a lot of times in the equity communities, they then layer on either an A, B, or C contract in regards to the higher levels of care. So you would then buy into whether it's an A, B, or C contract. So here at Givens, where you are learning about today, we offer a C, fee for service contract. That's so going forward in this presentation, we will be talking about that. But if you're just starting to learn, I want you to understand the differences. So Givens Estates offers the type C fee-for-service contract type. On that note, I want you to put in your back pocket and reach out to me individually if you want to learn more about how you could add on to the contract, because we are about to start adding the ability, I can't call it an A, but it's kind of a quasi, call it the supersize enhanced C contract type. So if you message me about that, I can put you in contact with people when we have that available. It's not ready as of today, but it's coming down the pike. So A, B, and C, rentals and equity, are the senior living options that are out there for you. Do your research, visit places, and find what works best for you. But walking forward into this presentation, I'll be talking about Givens, and we'll only be talking about the type C fee-for-service. I don't want that to be confusing for you. Okay, so if you haven't already received one of our brochures or an email from me, this is a snapshot of our independent living fees. I wanted to have, can you see my mouse move up here? So the pricing is for the year of 2024. Our fees are locked in annually. You're going to get a follow-up email from me with a load of information, and it is going to have our pricing. So you'll have everything that we offer. But remember, I said when you move into these types of communities, you pay an entry fee and a monthly fee. So again, that entry fee is paying for your residence. Are you moving into an apartment, single family residence, duplex, whatever? You're paying for that residence, but we're going to give you 3 pricing options to choose from, and they are based on refunds, meaning when you no longer live at our campus, do you personally or your estate or trust wish to receive 0, 50, or 90% back? You don't live here anymore because you've ended your days or you decided to move out. So it's you know, up to you. You can move out. We've had some people have changes and they needed to move out. So the higher the refund, the higher the cost. So in comparison, the 0 is 50,000, the 90% is up to 135. All right, so over here, it says the 0% is refundable up to 4 years. It's actually an amortization. So the value of your refund, it doesn't mean that it is 0 the day after you move in. It's going to decline down to 0 over a 4-year period of time. So the actual amortization is it declines 6% the first month and then 2% each month thereafter until the refund option is met. So that's a lot of math. I'm not a math person. So let's make that simpler. If it takes 4 years to fully decline all the way down to 0, that means it's going to decline 25% per year. So if you left Givens Estates for any reason sooner than 4 years, there would be a prorated refund. After 4 years, there is nothing coming back. It's an easy way to settle an estate, and it's a lot less money you took out of your portfolio to move here. So I'd say 98% of people do choose the 0%. Here's an interesting statistic for you. Our average move-in age is 74. The average time someone lives in our community is 13 to 15-ish years. So if you're looking at putting $200,000 into the community versus $500,000 into the community, you can see why most people would lean towards a 0. But there are different reasons for people to choose the 50 or the 90%. So if you did do the 50%, it would do that same amortization schedule, but it would stop declining after 2 years, and there would be 50% refunded back to you when you no longer live here. And that 50% refund is 50% of the amount you paid when you came into the community. If you're doing the 90%, it's 6%, 2%, 2%. So that means it declined 10%. So there's now 90% left. and you get 90% back. I want to point that there's two little stars right here next to the 90%. If you are choosing the 90%, and if you are moving into the community and you, or at least one of you, is over the age of 85 years, there is a $5,000 premium added. This is only on the 90%. So if you were 88 and you're moving into the community and you're choosing the 90%, so 86, 87, 88, that would be a $15,000 premium added. But that too, that premium is also 90% refundable. But I just don't want somebody to choose that and then go, oh yeah, there's a premium. So I want to be very clear all on pricing. I don't like surprises when it comes to me coming down and buying something. So anytime you look at a price sheet and you see any italics or stars or anything, you want to find out what that is. So when you're looking at our price sheet, just about every floor plan has one of these stars on it. So prices are going to vary according to finishes, design, and location. So for instance, I've got 31 Tulip apartments and they are stacked and they're facing in different areas of the building. So the higher you go, there's a little bit of a premium on all of them. If you have a mountain, sunset, and pond view, it's going to be higher than what the base price is that you see on here. These are all starting prices. I'd say give it about a $10,000 range. Where you will see the bigger range would be like in our cottages or our houses. Some of our cottages have full finished basements. So that would take a house from an average of 2,000 square feet to about almost 4,000 square feet. So that's going to be higher than the base price. So once you look at everything and you kind of want to see what it is that range is, kind of get an idea of what floor plans you're interested in, I can tell you what that range is. So let's say there's two of you moving into the community. The Astor at the 0% is $218,900, but you have a spouse. You're going to add $15,000. It's a flat $15,000 if there are two of you. It is not this times two. So it's just $15,000 for a second person. So then monthly, are you paying a single or double occupancy rate? Are there one or two people living in that residence? Okay. Feel free to type in any questions in your Q&A box if you have a question. So let's talk about what's included in the monthly fee, regardless of where you live on our campus, whether it's a house, duplex, or whatever. Everyone has access to all of the same amenities and they have the same inclusions in their monthly fee. So let's start with dining and dining dollars, allowances for people. Included in your monthly fee, each resident receives $293 each month per person to spend in our 3 dining venues. We're going to look at that in just a moment. But what if you are traveling and you're going somewhere for 2-3 weeks and you didn't spend all of your dining dollars for that month? It is not a use it or lose it. If you have money left over, you can always carry over 2 months worth at all times. So if you take $293 times 2 months, that max rollover would be $586. So if you had $600 and it's the last day of the month, like it is today, if you have 600, you want to spend it down to that max of 586. You can call and have a meal delivered, order some food, put it in your freezer, whatever. But what we're doing is we're just giving a stipend included in the monthly fee. It is independent living. You have full kitchens in all of your residences. You're coming, you're going, you're traveling, whatever it is. So we're not intending to feed you 3 meals a day. That's more of assisted living. So if you wanted $600 a month, then I'd have to increase your monthly fee $600 a month. We don't want to have to jack all that up. So that's where they're coming up with this $293. They look annually to see what the average independent living resident is spending. So that's how they can come up with a fee that nobody's needing to overpay. Some people don't cook at all. Well, they might go over. And if that's the case, it's just itemized and added to their bill and they pay it at the end of the month. So food is a big, important thing to a lot of people here. It's not about consuming. food. It is partially, but that's not everything. It's about choices. It's about having a sense of arrival at a number of dining venues. We have 3 of them. Meal delivery, takeout. So many people have so many different dietary focal points or needs. So you're going to receive menus, activities, programs, classes that are currently going on right now in a follow-up email. So you'll see the pricing of the dining as well as that. Weekly housekeeping. Every week they're going to come to your home. They're going to vacuum, dust, clean the kitchen, the bathrooms. They give you a list of services that you can choose from every week, including changing your linens. That right there, sign me up. Included also are your phone, cable, internet. We have our own IT department here. We have very good fast internet. You've got over 800 people with cell phones and using Zoom, Prime Video, Stars, you name it. So we have very fast, up-to-date internet and communication services. So you have all of that. Now, we don't include your cell phone, but we do include a landline phone for you. Okay. And again, I'd mentioned you don't have to take care of that residence. We are going to do all of your maintenance for you. We're going to do the groundskeeping. If something breaks down, you let us know. We do provide all appliances. 800 residents to keep entertained, and about 600 is independent living. So you're going to get a list of activities, programs, classes. And there's no way that this 1 month is going to show you everything. So this is another reason why, as Abby mentioned, you want to like us on social media, because they're constantly posting things of what's going on. A newsletter is one thing. It's listed, it's flat, it's paper. But to get these visuals and these interviews and videos or images that are currently going on with actual residents really does make it fun. So that's a good way to get an idea of what the campus has to offer. If there's something that you're not sure, do we offer it? Reach out to me, ask me, we'll find out. If they don't have it, they're always changing and adding more things. And things are seasonal too. So it's always changing. We do have campus security. If you have been on our campus lately, you'll see that the entrance is a bit messy. We are redoing our entrance. We're building a new guardhouse, and we are becoming a 24/7 gated community. We're just being proactive on it after COVID. And when we did have the lockdown and when things lightened up, a lot of residents expressed that they liked having that. It made them feel safe. So we're following their lead on that, and we're moving forward with that. The entrance will be done this spring. So stay tuned on that. Social services, when you move to a community like this, not all communities offer this, but we offer a relationship for you to develop with one of the social workers here. And I like to call them resident navigators as well, because literally you have somebody to lock arms with and navigate with. Your children, your spouse, a loved one has somebody to be able to communicate and connect with, and you do too. So you've never aged before. If you have a diagnosis or a surgery or an unplanned health event, you don't know what to do. You have someone to help you navigate through that. There is no fee for their services. Most communities don't offer these services until the higher levels of care, but we bring it to you at independent living. It is another reason how we're able to keep people living independently in their residences, because they know what services are out there for you. Our social services department, most of them have a master's degree in social work. So it's a really big, important factor in your search. You want to ask about that. Now, additional services that are not included in the monthly fee, but available here would be MAHEC. That is a doctor's office. So if you don't live here, you don't know what the heck MAHEC is. So MAHEC stands for Mountain Area Health Education Center. So you can have your primary physician right here. So if you're moving, you're going to be dialing for dollars and trying to find a new physician. You can have your primary right here. If you live here locally and you already have your doctor set, you don't want to change them, that is fine. And you could change them later down the road if you wanted and have it conveniently here on campus. MAHEC is a huge network. So your primary would be here on campus, and it would open you up to any specialists that you might need. Salon, have your hair, your nails done. You can get facials. We have acupuncture. We even have 24/7 free delivery to your door pharmacy. There's even a pharmacy that's open certain hours where you can walk in and purchase cough drops and whatnot, things that are there. Reiki, estheticians, all the good stuff, lots of things. All right, I'm going to show you just some images of some of our newer updated dining venues. Like I said, you're going to get the menus, but the Social Brew is our breakfast and lunch dining venue. It's located in Oxford Commons. It's a flexible space, so you can have smoothies and sandwiches, and they have the best ham and cheese croissant. I have to resist them. They are so good. Abby likes you like the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. She gets that every now and then. So yes, and they also have amazing lunch menu as well. And then on the weekends, they have an evening tapas menu as well. All of our venues, you can purchase wine, beer and wine. You can also bring your own. We do not charge a corkage fee, and we can provide the stemware for you. Market and Craft is the second venue. It is a walk-up, made-to-order restaurant. You can walk up over here and Ernesto will make you something from the grill. It's a burger or a Reuben or a vegetarian, vegan, all kinds of options there. Or you can come over here to the Chef's Creation Station, which is what's the hot meal of the day. You don't have a picture of it here, but we even have a pizza oven where you can have breadsticks, calzones, pizzas, everything. The culinary artists work here and they make everything on our campus daily here. They even make all the fresh breads, all the bakery things. It's just that you have to be careful. So you have to get some exercise or you're going to have too many good fun options. There's also Givens to Go behind these gentlemen over here. You can always walk in, you can get some sandwiches, some leftovers, some produce. We even have a culinary garden on our campus where we can sell you some fresh organic items that are grown here on campus. So that's Market and Craft. It's a made to order. You take it to the table. If you need assistance with taking it to the table, we can help you with that as well. It's a very casual, fun lunch and dinner option. And then there's Terin, which is our elegant and intimate restaurant. It's full service, table weighted right there. And Terin actually means from the earth. So when they're designing the menus, they're looking at as many local in-season ingredients to create the menu from. And all three dining venues are on a different 6-week schedule. So every couple of weeks, you're going to have a new menu. Nobody wants to eat the same thing all the time. Now, when it comes to Terin, it's not required that you have a reservation, but it is highly recommended. So you can have that as well. So then you have our Jordan Center. You want to work out, brand new exercise room. We've got all the exercise equipment. We have full-time staff. They also have master's degree in exercise science. They can give you full orientations on how to use the equipment, help you obtain some of your goals. You can even hire them for personalized service as well, but they can also coach you while helping other people at no fee. We have private therapy spaces. You can have occupational, physical, and occupational speech, physical, I'm forgetting one. All of the therapy services are here. You can get a referral from your doctor. We'll file the claims for you. It's located in that space. We have updated pool and locker rooms. We have an indoor pool. We have a lap pool. We have the jacuzzi. It's pretty impressive on what all we've got. I'm also going to be sending you a list of all of the aerobics classes, the yoga classes. You're going to get that as well today. But where do you want to live? Our campus is about 215 acres. So it's a beautiful but expansive campus. There's over 63 floor plans. And our size ranges can be anywhere from 300 to well over 4,000 square feet. We've got a lot of choices. So sometimes it's overwhelming because there's so many choices. So what we do is we kind of break it into two different categories. Are you considering apartment living or single family living? Our apartments are located in 4 different buildings of Oxford Commons, Asbury Commons, Creekside, and Friendship Park. Single family options are houses, cottages, and duplexes. It's covering so much that I'm going to kind of skip over that pretty fast today. But in your follow-up email that you're going to get a compiled list of furnished videos where residents live, where they have allowed for me to come in and get a video of their home. I have just about every floor plan, so you can see floor plans. I can entertain you all weekend on floor plans. And then there's also going to be a link for you to click, and we spend time on just floor plans, where they're located, what are the features of this building and that building, and how many are there. So we have 9 neighborhoods. So if I talk about each neighborhood for 5 minutes, that's just 45 minutes alone. So that is a separate webinar that you are going to get. And you can skip over and pause and rewind all of that. So you're going to learn all about our floor plan options as well. Here's a quick image of our campus. This is cut off. So when you are looking at the one that I emailed to you, as well as in your packet, there is a campus up here, and it'll show you where north, south, east, west is. And there's also a legend that will help you determine, like, these are cottages, the color of these, the color of these are houses, and you'll learn more of the campus. The floor plan webinar will go through all of that very much as well. This is also our hiking and walking trails. We have well over 5 miles of walking and hiking trails on our campus. Some are more intense than others, and some are very nice to stroll in. No matter where you live on our campus, Monday through Friday, if you want to get a ride over to the wood shop or to the gardens or to the pool or to the dining, you can pick up the phone, they'll come pick you up, and they'll transport you all over the campus. You're welcome to walk, you're welcome to have your own golf cart, you maintain it yourself, or you can drive your own car. We do try to encourage people to use the on-campus transportation because it just alleviates parking. So that is free for you. It's also available for team members and your guests. Home care. Again, remember, we said most people prefer to stay in the comforts of their home. We can do that. We have our own company called Givens Home First. So anybody that's not living on our campus, but is trying to find and reserve home care in their residence, first of all, there's a long wait list to get those. Somebody's got to manage the care. You're going to have to pay a trip charge, and they're also not going to come to your home without you paying at least 3 to 4 minimum billable hours. We provide that care to you as low as 30-minute charges. You may just need a little bit, or you might need more and more, and it might be starting little. It might just be a temporary thing that you need it. But we have the staff here to help you enhance your independence. Some people have long-term care policies. For those that do, if you want me to send you my cheat sheet, let me know, and I can help you determine how your policy is going to work with you here in the campus. Not everybody has that, so just if you do and you want me to help you with that, let me know. But our Givens Home First program has really, really enhanced people's independence and allowed for them to stay at home on our campus. So we've mentioned social media a few times. Abby does an amazing job with these. Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn are the 3 avenues that you'll find us. And again, just make sure you like us. And that's a great way for you to get the information and not being bombarded with emails and stuff. So we find that that's a great way for you to go and you can look at it. And I'd say at least once a week, there is a social media post. Sometimes there's 3, 4 a week, but I'd say a minimum of at least once a week. So you can really kind of stay up to date on that. Let's have another poll question. How are we on time? How are we doing? Okay, we're good. All right. So poll question. When are you thinking of making a move? Are you thinking 3+ years? Most people are planners. They've heard the term that, or heard the rumor that a lot of places have wait lists. And we're going to talk about wait lists in just a minute. So what are you kind of thinking? Or maybe you just don't even know if this is even something that you want. And that's fair too. But please get on at least one wait list somewhere. Learn those contract type options. Do your research. Whether or not you don't even plan to move to another community, what if you have to? What is your plan? There are not enough of these places nationwide to take care of the demand of the baby boomers retiring. They say the silver tsunami is coming. I want you to be ready. I want you to be prepared and informed with choices. So again, this is pretty, well balanced out. So let's see, we got little bit, not quite half of you, well, a little bit over half of you have responded. You're thinking, I don't know. It's not a life decision. Don't let it stress you out. What's your gut reaction? 3+ up to 3 within the next 12 months and undecided. Okay. All right. I'm going to end it. I'm going to share it. Boop. Failed to share. Another poll has started. All right. Well, 34% say 3+ years, 25 are saying 1 to 3. And within the next 12 months, 25% of you and about 16% of you are just undecided. You don't know. You're just getting information. I'm not making any commitments yet. That's fair. Okay. All right. So there we go. There we go. Wait time. How does our wait list work? And so forth. People will ask me, well, how long does it take to get in your community? Guys, I'm guessing, I don't know. I've been here over 14 years. I have kind of come to the conclusion that I am seeing it's an average of 2 to 5 years to get in the community. A thing to help you is larger is longer, smaller is shorter. The larger square footage typically is a longer wait. The smaller square footage is typically a shorter wait. I consider my larger square footages to be 1,500 square feet and up. So if you're looking at something that's 1,500 plus, look at that as being a longer wait. And it really just depends on what comes available. Remember, you got people moving in younger, you got people living longer, and you got people getting home care in their independent living residences. So get a plan, get an idea, and don't wait too long. But when we do ask you what kind of preferences you're looking for when you get on the wait list, we'll ask you that. But we're asking you to pick 4 because there's so many choices. It's kind of making you dive into the community and think about what you're wanting. But don't feel the stress that if you fill it on the form, you can't change it. You can change it as many times as you want. And trust me, people do. What they thought that they wanted and what they actually did need, I say people on average change their preferences 2 to 3 times before they move in. So this is great information for us. What are people wanting? How do we best plan and prepare? And then how do we kind of guess what the average time is? So don't get too stressed on that. But let's talk about how it works to get on our wait list. It is a $1,500 deposit. That is per household. It's not per person. So if there's 2 of you, it's just $1,500. We can receive your deposit either with a check or a credit or debit card, however you wish to pay for it. A lot of people like to get their points. So the most important part for you to grasp is whatever date we receive your deposit, that is your wait list date. You do not have a number, you have a wait list date. I've got, and I'm rounding it up right now, but we've got close to 2,000 people on our wait list. It does not mean that 2,000 people are knocking at the door, waiting and ready to move into the community. It means that they are considering this as an option down the road. But if I've got 2,000 people on the list, how do I know who to call? So we have a wait list and a ready list. The wait list means don't call me, I'm not ready. Ready list means you are ready to move, you want to be notified. Everyone that is on the ready list, they've met with me. We have then confirmed what floor plans do make sense. You are ready to move, and you are placed on the ready list in order of your original wait list date. So if Abby joined the wait list in 2020 and I joined today and we are both ready, Abby is going to be higher on the list, and she'll be, with her 4 preferences, and whatever comes available that matches her preference, she would be the person that is notified. So get that date established. Okay. Ready When do I know that I'm ready? When do I get on the ready list? Let's assume that I'm calling Abby today and I'm offering her a residence. When that residence that is offered to her becomes vacant, she will be asked to close in 60 days. So that can be a little stressful. So you want to be prepared and ready for that. And the biggest stress factor for most people is the sale of a home. Most people want to use the proceeds of the sale of their home to pay for that entry fee. So we can offer you what we call a promissory note. The promissory note allows for you to pay half of the entry fee up front, and then you have an additional 12 months to pay the balance. That gives you a year to sell, close on your home. We have found this to be the easing factor for everyone. But two things: your home, you have to have access to the first half, and then you have to have your house listed on the MLS by the date of your closing. So if you aren't ready to list your house within the next 60 days of getting that call, then you're probably not ready. And I have a webinar for that. And you're going to get that webinar if you are interested. I'm giving you so much information. I'm not sending that right now, but should you be interested in that webinar, reach out to me and we'll go through the whole full details. You get a sample contract. You'll get a copy of the promissory note. It talks about renovation details on what we do when places are offered to you. So that's a separate webinar. If you're interested in that, let me know. But ready list means that you are ready to go. If you are offered something, it didn't pan out to be the right fit or whatever, we'll find out why. You do not lose your date. You never lose your date. You never lose your date. So if you found out you weren't ready, you go back on the wait list and you come back on the ready list and you kept that date. All depositors, whether you're on the wait list or the ready list, we give you access to the community. Come, swim in the pool, hike the trails, have meals, take an art class, meet people, be familiar with the campus. This is a great benefit for those that live here locally. If you don't live here locally, then if you're in the area, know that this is your community. You're also getting all of the updates and everything. So you are kept in the loop. But also, while you're on either the wait list or the ready list, you have access to the higher levels of care. So maybe you're on more than one wait list and this one came available and one of you needs a higher level of care. One of you needs independent living. One of you needs assisted living. Remember, we're a type C, fee for service. You're not ruled out. What backup plan do you have? Everybody should be on at least one type C fee for service wait list somewhere, whether it's mine or somewhere else. But you're going to be so smart and you're going to know those contract types and you're going to know the questions and you're going to be prepared. So we give you that option as well. The deposit that you paid is fully refundable for 30 days. After 30 days, it does become 50% refundable, but it never expires. You have a lifetime membership, call it, to the community, and you also have access to the higher levels of care. And I am saying access. I'm not saying guarantee, because if I've got a resident that needs that one bed and assisted living, the resident would get it before someone on the wait list. But a lot of times, you know, something's happening, you need a higher level of care. Even if you've had a health event, you've got rehab, let us know. We can work on getting you into the community. All right. So you will also be receiving a waitlist application. If you are interested, that will be there for you. So Abby, can we pop up another poll question? Are you already on a wait list somewhere? Yes, no, or not yet. Over the years, I've asked, how many wait lists? 1, 2, 3, how many of you on? 13 is the highest number that I've heard. That's probably a little bit more excessive than what you need, but I would say an average of 2 or 3. And if you are really interested in the type A contract type, please get on a C wait list as well, for the obvious reasons that we have discussed. And a lot of you, this is the first time that you're just learning about this. So you might not be on a wait list now, but do yourself a favor. If you are over the age of 65, please get on a wait list somewhere. Some communities have wait lists that are 10 plus years. We are a very sizable community. So, and we have so many options to offer that an average of 2 to 5 years is what we are finding. Now, there are some people that have been on my wait list for 11 years before they are ready. But so it doesn't matter whether or not you're on the wait list or the ready list with that average. Everybody has different times. But somebody who's been on the wait list for 11 years and they tell me that they're ready, they better be ready. So I hope that's helpful to you. All right, so let's see, ending the poll. Share. Can you see it? Did it come up? All right. Here we go. And close. All right, so you got a lot of follow-up information coming your way. I'm going to send you our 2024 fees. You're going to get a sample menu and activities, programs, classes, pricing of dining, the campus map. Some of you may have a tax benefit, so I'm going to send you that tax credit letter. There is a number you can call if you have questions on that. I can't give you tax advice, but that is something you might find interesting for yourself. You're going to have a compressed library of furnished floor plan videos. We don't furnish the residences, but these are just furnished videos that residents live in. And I find that those videos, you can really get a better idea of the size and how to use the space if it is furnished. We do a weekly presentation and tour every Thursday. I tell people to plan 10 to 12:30. You're welcome to have a meal here. You can pay for it yourself in the dining venues if you would like to do that after your tour. We're going to give you the information on how to schedule one of those tours as well. Also, you're going to receive a recording of today's presentation. You can watch it, you can share it, you can pause it, have something repeated for you. There's also going to be a webinar where Kathy Neighbor is talking about assisted living, skilled nursing, and you can see images of those areas, but that's a whole other avenue of your search and learning. So that is another webinar. You can just click on it and watch it. And then the floor plan webinar that I talked about, you'll be able to walk through and see images and all the details of all of the different floor plan areas and neighborhoods. If you have never been here on a campus, you can click a link and literally drive through our campus. And you can also basically walk around and have an amenities tour on another link as well. Obviously, my point is to give you the tools at your fingertips to help you discover Givens Estates. It's a lot. It may be more than what you want, but I'd rather give you too much than not enough. Okay. All right. Do we have any questions that people want us to go over?
We don't have a ton at the moment, but one question is Givens owned by a corporation?
We are a nonprofit organization. And that's an important thing. And I'll also say that you want to ask, are you for profit or nonprofit? We are nonprofit. You also want to ask, is your community Medicare or Medicaid certified? We are Medicaid certified. Nobody knows how long they're going to live. Nobody knows how much money that they're going to need. But what if you did run out of funds? Obviously, there's going to be a financial review before you are approved to move into the community. I'm going to stop sharing. So you can, you're going to be financially approved before you move into the community. But should you have run out of funds, it's probably going to be due to skilled nursing or a higher level of care. And no worries, we will just change over your payer source to Medicaid and you're going to stay put right here. I'm going to take good care of you. So that's a good question. Nonprofit and Medicaid.
What's the average age of our current residents?
Average age of current residents is 83. The average age of move-in is 74.
Mm-hmm. And then do we have any 3-bedroom floor plans?
We don't. We do have 2 bedrooms and dens. Okay, I'll retract that. Cottages or houses that have a basement, those might be 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, but a majority, like apartments, The apartment ranges are going to be anywhere from a 300 square foot studio up to 1,800 square feet, up to 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a den.
Mhm. Perfect.
I didn't include our pet policy, so I'll talk
Mm.
about that. We do allow pets. We're a very pet friendly community, but not everybody is into pets like some of us are. So we have to look at it in both perspectives. So yes, bring your pets, but you know your pet. If your pet is a bark, 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 barker and is, I mean, to bark, bark and then calm down is one thing. That's how they communicate, right? But if it's not going to sit well for you or your fellow neighbors, maybe you should consider a single family residence. So be, respectful on that. You can't leave your dog outside on a leash. You got to tend to your pet. The weight limit is 40 pounds for the apartments, and the weight limit for outside of the main buildings, being your single family, your duplexes, that would be 70 pounds. We do have some that are exceeding that weight limit, and that's all handled on a case-by-case basis.
Beautiful. The next question that we have is, we were talking about this right before we started the webinar. We have some guests from South Louisiana. What's the winter weather like? And are the buildings connected?
I'll let you answer that, Abby.
Yeah. So winter weather is fairly mild here. We don't get a ton of snow. It usually melts within a day of falling. We did have a chilly day last week with a high of 8, but it's mid-50s this week. So it's North Carolina. You never know what you're going to get. And you can go to a higher elevation and have snow, but be in the valley like we are and hardly get snow. So it really just depends. And as far as the buildings being connected, our main building, Oxford Commons, is where all our main amenities are: dining, working out, our performing arts center, all of that. So if you want to be inside without walking outside, you want to be in Oxford Commons. We also have Asbury Commons, which is connected to Oxford Commons. So that's another option as well. Otherwise, you will be coming from outside to reach our main amenities.
Yes, and when you watch that floor plan webinar, each and every neighborhood that we talk about, I show you the campus map. I circle where on the map it is, and then we talk about that neighborhood. How many bedrooms, how many baths, how many of that floor plan, what's the parking, what's the storage, all of those details. And then there's images to go along with it. So the 2 main buildings, as she said, that is where most of the interior amenities are located, although everyone has access to them no matter where they live. It's a lot of
Perfect.
information. And look,
Yeah.
it's 11:58. I feel like I'm speed talking, but it is so much information. And you're important to me. And this is a big decision. So put me to work. Let me know what questions you have. Let this information kind of settle a little bit. Get on a wait list, whether it's here or someone else. Of course, we want you to join our wait list. We would love to have you. We may be one of many of your choices, but please do yourself a favor. Do it for yourself, your loved ones, your family members. Maybe, you don't have a spouse, you don't have children. What is the situation? We will be your family. We will be your community. Allow for that to be a thing for you. Let me help you. It is confusing. There's a lot of choices out there, but familiarize yourself with the A, the B, and the C contract. And then as you're looking at a plethora of these places, you will feel more informed and more confident. I wish you very, very well. I hope you have a beautiful day. Look for our email. It'll probably come out to you probably tomorrow. All this stuff has to load, and it takes hours for it to download and all that stuff. So you'll probably be getting that from me tomorrow. But if you do want to get a wait list date established, there's paperwork for you to fill out, but we can get your date set. You can fill out the paperwork, send it in, email me. My email address is llang@givensestates.org. My direct number, 828-771-2627. I hope you have.
I just put that in the chat for all of you if you want to check that out.
Yes. So I'll give you a minute to look at that. It is 12 o'clock. Any last minute questions that we need right away? Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. And thank you, Abby.
Yep.
Thanks for the technical thing letting us know, and I apologize for that. Okay,
Mm.
all right, bye.